Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing fine. I have so much on my plate that you might not be hearing from me for a few days. Don't worry, I'm fine. I've just got so many projects I've got to wrap up. Just got to wrap them up. And then I'm going to buckle down and do the panels that we've talked about. Okay? So, as recent events have happened, uh, I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things here. We're going to go here. We're going to do this one. And we're going to go back here. We're going to stop. Okay. So I think it's time for another news conference, as it has been brought to my attention that the previous post by Michelle gets altered just a little bit to fit the new narrative of the hour, of the channel. I don't even know. But I think that it's time to head back into our news camera with our news crew and get involved with TWAT radio. And yes, I am Tabitha Jane here to talk with about the new updates that we have seen on the Facebook page. And this is the Facebook page that started where it says that have disappeared for 6 months in the depression of the divorce because it was made an innuendo that Michelle had taken a break from her real life and just went to the YouTube, and the real life friends didn't know about the YouTube. And so she attempted to introduce one world to the other, and I think it backfired. But we do have some questions for Valley Girl as well. Um, okay, yeah, sure. Shirley, do you want to take this? Yeah, okay. Shirley has a question here. Let's go into Shirley. Shirley's got a question here. Let's see what Shirley would like to ask. Shirley's got a question for Valley Girl. Okay, so I think we got this clip here from Shirley, and then we'll go back to the content. So Shirley, do you want to go ahead and talk on that? Let's see, Shirley. Let's make sure that you're mic'd. Okay, Shirley, here you go. Here you go. Okay, Shirley's got a question. Oh, Shirley, do you have your mic on?
In training these
Oh,
dogs.
Shirley, go back.
Hey, Valley Girl, did you teach Michelle to do this to her dogs? I know that you've been so instrumental in training these dogs, the $1,000 at a time of training, and you calling in and saying that she is taking good care of her dogs and that she needs these dogs and blah blah blah. Was this part of the obedience training to have Michelle make out with Lola and kiss Lola on the mouth and have Lola's full 140 pounds on her while punching Jake? Is this what you taught her to do? Is this some of the behavioral training? Huh?
I think it's a fair question, Shirley.
Because if you look at the way that her anger goes on this, it's pretty sad. She goes, look at her. She full on punches Jake. She full on punches him. She full on punches him with all of that anger. She's got Lola there on her while she repeatedly punches Jake. We'll turn the sound on now, Valley Girl, so we can be sure that you don't want to take sides. You don't want to take sides, but I take Jake's side. I don't like animal abusers at all.
Fair point, Shirley.
So let's go through this again.
Do we see punching there? We do see punching there. Let's review that. Let's review that one more time.
So we all know Michelle is a vile, cruel human. Punch, slap, and kick a dog. And she had her husband's beloved dog put to sleep, killed, euthanized as a punishment because he wouldn't come back to her. So I'm not going to play.
And that is another question that we would like to pose to Valley Girl, as we can't seem to ever get an honest answer, statement, or sentiment out of Michelle herself. So, in Michelle's own words, one night she was bragging about how she was such a badass that when ETN wouldn't come back, she put his dog to sleep. Now we're hearing this Valley Girl saying that, she's known Michelle because they rescued dogs together and they've been friends for this whole time. Well, how could Valley Girl not know that Michelle is not allowed to go near the animal control center? That she is permanently trespassed from there. Now, I understand that there was a problem with the elevator going all the way up, not the brightest light on the Christmas tree, or the internet connection wasn't on right, and how Valley Girl needed to find it amongst herself to go to other panels when she had everything she needed to know right in front of her. In her interview, which was very fairly done by Best of Truth YouTube, there was no hostility, nothing of the sort, just a bunch of confusion. And Valley Girl, rather than listening and taking it in and knowing that she can speak and think for herself, went to other panels. Now, was that something that was suggested that she do? Why would she go to Ski's channel of all channels if that was the case? Why would she pay the entrance fee to ask King Ski a question? Because you can't just go and ask him. You must pay an entrance fee. Why would she think she needed to do that? She didn't need to pay an entrance fee on Best of Truths. She had to go and bitch about her. It's becoming very clear why her and Michelle are, bosom buddies, BFFs, and whatnot. Because the night that Nutshell acted out so horribly and was threatening to unalive herself, well, those of us who have watched her for long enough were watching her post on Facebook. The rest of the people believed that, she was really trying to unalive herself. And the wellness calls came in, as they should. If you ever think that somebody is a threat to themselves or others, always call. If they tell you to go fly a kite, that's their problem. But it's documented that you called. Okay? What stopped those calls was this user named Valley Girl that popped up and said, I work at Valley Vet, and the sheriffs and everything says that the dogs and everything are okay. Something to that effect, right? That they went there and everything's fine. So that stopped those calls. And Valley Girl acted like she didn't know anything about this. Well, how could she not have known anything about it when we have the receipts that show it was from the user with the username Valley Girl that is the same one that she is using? Does Nutshell have her password and login? Or did Nutshell make another channel called Valley Girl? Is that how this makes sense? Or is Valley Girl, um, yeah. Because it's starting to make a lot of sense here. Because it was said that there was $10,000 put in Lola and $5,000 put in Jake and all this stuff for the service dogs that they are. And I have explained ad nauseum that those are not service dogs. They are not trained in any way to be the most basic of service dogs. And if there was this $5,000 to $10,000 invested, I would certainly take that receipt for that obedience training and go and illustrate that the dogs don't know. Use the frickin' Michelle, I fell down and I can't get up in the snow video and get your money back. But oh, it wasn't that 10,000. It wasn't that 5,000. It was Valley Girl, who either did or didn't get herself majorly involved in a serious situation that she can or cannot remember, that she was on a panel, but her internet wasn't working or whatever, but it was good enough to go to other people's panels and then talk badly about the interview that was conducted fairly. To go to Ski like he would be the all knowing, more credible person than the person who puts up mostly unbiased clips of just the truth. She's called Best of Truth for a reason. I say mostly unbiased because I have not seen anything that's biased. But have I went through the whole content? No, I haven't. So I don't know if there's anything there that is or isn't. I'm just saying, I think that she's very fair. I think she puts the truth up there. I never wanted to be a part of the problem. I never wanted to, hashtag everything in the way that then, oh, somebody said this, somebody said that, somebody said this, somebody said that 52 times a day to get views back and forth. I wanted to be able to inform people that weren't aware of certain backstories. And so when I first started talking about her, I didn't even say her name. I would just say initials, and people really didn't know what I was talking about. Now I look back and see that, people full on were saying her full name and hashtagging her and everything. And I was missing out because a lot of people don't know that then when I started doing the videos and I reanimated Penelope's and then made my own from raw content, a lot of people have not seen those. So they didn't really know that I had been watching for a while, but I had not been watching full time. So there's things that I did not know. And I learned a lot last night on my panel. And I learned a lot more today, and I will talk about that in just a minute. But the bottom line is, I don't think that this woman has an ounce of compassion, insight, accountability, responsibility, or gratitude for all of the humans who have given all to her. And what the hell is the problem with her? Okay, you had something screwed up happen to you when you were a teenager. You know what? So did I, and so did a lot of people. And so you know what? We put on our big girl panties and we bucked up and we figured out how to get the help for ourselves so it would not continue to affect other people around us, ourselves, or our legacy. Not her. She goes on to the next source of supply, the next source of supply. I have never seen somebody go through so many people, just like some kind of zombie that just sits there and goes through people's souls And it's happened here online. It has happened in real life. I am going back and I am putting full hashtags on every video I've made, and I will make sure that the playlists are put so that they can be in podcast style, so they can be listened to, etc., etc. So, on here, I don't think there's any question as to what we are seeing here. We are seeing her very furiously punching a dog. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? This same dog that you turn around and say is a service dog. What the hell is wrong with you? You had 3 dogs and you sat there in that family picture and you put one of them to sleep. You have a friend who says that, oh, you're a dog rescuer and you want to get some kind of credence for fostering dogs and helping dogs. Well, all of that is erased because your cruelty is showing. And you want to sit there and act like those of us who go and point out the truth because what you say is ridiculous, that we all sell Suboxone and we're felons. My Suboxone helps me tremendously. The thought of selling them has never crossed my mind. When you said it, I still wasn't even sure. Is there a market for that? I would have no idea. But that's where your mind goes because you're not really in pain. You are the problem. But to deny that you have abused animals, to say that we're lying about this, oh, yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. But you know what? We've got the receipts. Yeah, we do. This is original Penelope content that I updated. And after what she did to Penelope, I don't blame her for wanting a break, at least. She took so much hate for putting the truth out there about you so that people wouldn't get hurt, so that what has happened in the YouTube community would not have happened. People who had been friends and co creators for years now have fractured relationships because of you, Michelle. I don't give a fuck what happened to you as a teenager. I really don't. Get help. Go put yourself in the nut bin. They have really great people there. You can get great snacks there. You can get cheese and crackers all the time. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. Because I took my pain inside and I lived that night because there was a greater plan for me, but I didn't understand and I was not happy that I had survived what I had tried to do. And a lot of the old me did not survive that night. The new me did. The new me that had to learn how to live in a world with myself and how to walk free and be better than the abuse that left lifelong injuries to not only my soul, my heart, but my body. I never wanted anybody else to feel that pain. I only took it out on myself. And I was 29. I've never abused any of my kids. I have 6 of them. The oldest is 34. I've never hit any of them. I don't know what your problem is. Because I was abused, I would never abuse. I know what that's like to feel like. So what the hell did you do? Your kids are broken and hurt. You need to get better for them. You owe them that much. You owe this community that much. Stop making channels. Nobody wants to see or hear you. Stop making channels every day. You have been deplatformed for a reason for all of the pain that you have caused everybody. It is time for you to get your shit straight for the first time in your life. And oh, everybody can say that I'm harsh and oh, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I'm the one saying, get help. Because you're not going to live long enough to do it at the rate that you're going. And your kids are going to have one more hurt. And for whatever reason, your kids still love you and want to see the best in you. So there must be something to you that I certainly as fuck don't see. Because I can't see past what you did to Jake. I think it's disgusting. And then we'll get to the other topics I'm disgusted at. So take it from me. Get off these channels. Stop trying to make real world people come after us, because all we're going to do is show them the truth. You thought that all of Penelope's videos were down, but I was watching. I wasn't going to let that happen because Penelope told the truth. She was hurt because of it. You had people sit there and they fell for your little bully. I'm bullied. I'm victim. I'm a bullied. I'm a bullied victim. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. You couldn't stand that Molly was talking about something other than you. You heard somebody talking about, you go online and you're like, oh, why aren't they talking about me? And so you sat there and took over entire discussions for little details that none of us should have to hear. If you are that traumatized, then why are you making the sick jokes that you do about it? And then if any of us refer to what you're talking about, then we are accused of being sickos. You need to go and get that report, and you need to go through it with a therapist, and you need to figure out what it is that either you feel guilty for or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But something's not right with you. And you need to stop focusing on everybody else and look at yourself. Look at this. You don't believe me? Look at what you do to your dog. Your dog you love.
The rest of the Taking Jake video, I will link it in my description. It's still on Michelle's channel. It was her live called Hateful Scroll as Scanchy as B.O.T.Y.T. 3 rolling eye emojis, 3 facepalm emojis. I will link that in the description. We all know how Michelle loves to blame other people and blame everything else for her actions. But here's a look, actually, this yesterday morning. Michelle looks like the most sober we've seen her really ever. So that won't be there anymore, as we all know that Michelle's channels have been taken down. I don't know if you guys saw more of that animal abuse, but like I say, and this was 3 months ago. People saw her actively abusing and punching a dog, and this is who they chose to make their queen and give money to and everything else. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know if she just gets new people who haven't seen that and don't know that she does this, and they think, oh, it's real.
So if you can't, so that's my content with Penelope's original content. And now this is on TWAT radio, and we're figuring it all out because we're just going to let this play while we figure the rest of it out. Because I'm a little shaken right now. Because I went and procured the raw video that I did, the videos that I did months ago. And when I put them up, somebody mentioned, a friend of the channel said, oh, you're doing Tim Trimble content or whatever. I was like, no, I don't know what that is. I got this from, maybe you guys have figured out now, whatever, but not Penelope is the other videos that I did where I showed the entire video and I narrated through them. The videos that she took to show abuse, right? Right. So, I went and I looked because I didn't know what content there was. Well, in my watch later and in my Michelle playlist, I had put the YouTube Tim Trimble interview with Amber by I See What You Can't. I had it in there, but I forgot that I had it in there because I had never heard it. And for some reason, it didn't come up in my watch later. So when I finally got around to it today, I went to look for it, and I had commented on it 3 weeks ago. Said, nice job. Like, wait a minute. So it had thought that I had already seen it or whatever, So, like, it was looking like a video I'd already seen, so I wasn't looking at it. I think I was commenting on the video before because I'm a huge fan of I See What You Can't. Huge fan. Big time fan. Big time fan of Best of Truth. Big time fan of I See What You Can't. Real fangirling, okay? So I'm halfway through I See What You Can't's video with Tim. And I'm telling you, I'm shaken. I'm absolutely shook. Because that man sounds kind. That man sounds normal. Sure, he said that he has made mistakes, but he's introspective. He's accountable. He's responsible. He's open. So that behavior has been modeled in front of her. And this man, Tim, said that he would still help her. Does this man not have any idea what the fuck she's been saying about him since day one? I like I say, after Shirley asked these questions here, we've got these videos. We're looking through. We're watching here because there's a reason why. Put the camera back on me. Well, you guys can't see me because I don't want to inflict that on you. You guys have been through enough. You don't need to see my ugly ass. To listen to Tim talk. Like I say, I'm very upset. I am shook. Shook to my freaking core. Because as I went through the ETN videos, scoured them. Because you know what? When she sounded as unhinged as she did on Molly's things, I started looking into this, trying to figure this shit out. Watched her streams. Say that, she was an abused woman. Real abused. Yeah, she has a fucked up husband, a fucked up ex. Well, I really wanted to know, what the fuck, because I have helped quite a few people who have dealt with faulty disabled veterans with PTSD, So I watched those videos. And like I said, what I saw in ETN is a gentle giant. He was not engaging. His eyes were averted. He's doing everything he can to diffuse the situation. He is not coming at her. She's following him. If you are abused, if you are a victim of domestic abuse, you don't follow the person who just clubbed you. You don't follow somebody who has just hurt you. She was the aggressor. So, I made myself comfortable with the knowledge that it must have been the other husband that really just fucked her up. That he must just be a real piece of frickin' work. So now that I've gotten it straightened out, now that I can halfway find the Tim stuff, and I'm halfway through the Tim thing, like I say, I am really upset because just hearing him, just like hearing her son, who is fucked up because of her. He has introspection. He has the ability to be reflective. So does Tim. Tim formed sentences the way that she would have you believe it. Basically, like, you know, he would probably just be a monster. Kind of like Sling Blade. Maybe outside just going, with a shovel and shit. No. This man said he'd still help her. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her. If she, honest to God, was not like this when he knew her, and she's acting like this, then she does need to be declared incompetent. I can't even form words right now. I'm so upset. I am sorry on behalf of Michelle, Tim. I am sorry. Please do not think that twice in a lifetime you'd find a monster like this. I have stopped a family annihilation. I have stopped a murder for hire. I have saved at least 8 lives in my work, as we shall call it. I've dealt with some nasty women that have really tried to fuck up some men. And I've never seen anything near what I see in her. And that's saying a lot. So, Tim, I really hope that you have gone on, and I really hope that you have found a good and honest, loving woman. And I urge you to do what you need to do to find closure, if you haven't, on the tragedy that happened. Because if you didn't even know certain details that she puts out here as the first thing that anybody had ever heard about her, there's a reason why she's not able to put it away. And I don't think it's because of what happened. I don't think so. There's more to the story, is what I'm trying to say. If you get that report and you have questions, I have good friends who have worked in forensics and can help you to get answers that you might have questions to. Please feel free to reach out to me at tabithajane0@gmail.com. I, once again, am so sorry. And I heard you say that, like a split personality. A split personality is just really, one of those made for TV kind of things. I mean, I know that we all think that we see it, but that's more rooted in bipolar. If you had not heard her say that she was borderline before, that's problematic because borderline doesn't just develop. Um, I am not a therapist. I have 2 bachelor's degrees, finishing my master's in forensic psychology. One bachelor's is in psychology, one is in criminal justice. I'm not a practicing therapist, so I'm saying that out there so that I'm not giving you a diagnosis, Tim. I'm not giving you a diagnosis. I'm not giving her a diagnosis. I'm just saying that I've read an awful lot and I've seen a lot and I've seen case studies and I myself do have borderline personality disorder. I've went through intense therapy for it. There's very specific and targeted treatment for borderline personality disorder that she would know about if she had actually been diagnosed, especially 20 years ago. She said that that's when she started getting her SSI for it. She says that she's bipolar, borderline, PTSD, and a whole lot of other things, right? Right. If this is not what you had seen, if this anger look of punching dogs and kicking and the injury on her toe was coincidentally very much in the same time frame when she was kicking Jake, punching and kicking, so perhaps his claw caused an opening in her skin because of the circulation issues that she has because of her extreme addiction. She's on the road to being 6 foot under. So if you, or if ETN, or if any living relative of hers can do something, if this is not what you have seen of her, and this is a huge difference, then she needs to be in inpatient therapy. Even if it wasn't, she needs inpatient long term therapy. There are options out there. First, she needs to get her head straight, come sober, honestly sober, and then intense psychological treatment for whatever trauma is affecting her right now. If it is that she doesn't have closure on what happened 19 years ago, then she needs to go through the papers when she's sober and work through each detail. But it was not appropriate to try and put very graphic details out there for whole crowds and crowds of people to hear. And then to be really, really disgusting and obscene about the baby's grave and what people should do on it. I don't think that somebody just changes and they're able to do this. When she put out cigarettes on her kid's arm to teach him not to smoke when she's smoking in front of him, this isn't somebody who had a great mothering instinct. How many times were the kids taken back and forth between parents and grandparents? She is now blaming the kids being taken away on her oldest son. Something that he did when he was a teenager, she said caused her to lose custody of all of the kids. So rather than her taking responsibility as the mother and her actions, she put the actions of losing all of the kids on her oldest son. Is it any question that her oldest son now tries to stuff that pain with drugs and alcohol? This is a train wreck. This is an absolute train wreck. And I did not fart, by the way. That was my chair. I just got up to turn on the light. This is, like I say, I'm so shaken. I am so shaken here. So, back to TWAT radio. We're going to go back and see why we're looking at this so intently and why we did need to put the messages out there to Tim and to ETN. And like I say, I will go back and I will hashtag properly because all of the things that I've done are not all together. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. Now, to go back to TWAT radio, here we are. And we're going to interview Michelle. All right, Michelle, over on your Facebook, I do see that you have changed some things here.
Right, yes, deuces.
All right, deuces with ya. Okay, so this is Tabitha Jane here, reporting on the recent updates on the Facebook proclamation of being a victim of social media. And Michelle, can you go ahead and speak to what you posted on April 10th?
Yes. What about it?
Okay, I see here that it says, well, we're just going to go back to the beginning. All right, we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to read it all just so that we're all on the same page. Is that okay?
Yes. Deuces, but don't say anything I didn't say.
Oh, I'm going to be reading right from what you wrote.
But that doesn't mean that I did it if the typewriter put the letters in it.
Okay, well, we'll just go through it. We'll go through it slowly, okay?
Well, okay, but I don't know about this. Let me go get my Glock.
Oh, please don't get the Glock. Please don't. Please don't. I fear that more than your cooking. Or do I?
My cooking is great, and I just want a cooking channel.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's go back. Are you okay?
Right.
Okay, do you need me to push a button or something? With a Okay.
Right.
Oh, oh, okay, I found the button. Okay, she seems to be okay for a moment. Okay, so I'm going to read from this page here, and it says, have disappeared for 6 months in the depression of the divorce. Ugh. Guess who's back? Literally am probably the most online bullied person on the face of the earth. Unfortunately, internet laws haven't caught up with real life laws. Started a cute YouTube channel. Didn't realize I dropped myself in the middle of the drama community. It's just getting worse and worse, and YouTube won't do anything about it. Now these people are trying to dig up autopsy reports on my son who passed away of SIDS 19 years ago, convinced I murdered my son.
No shit. Right.
Shit, somebody push that button. God, okay. Got her button off again. I've been off Facebook for a while, trying to put out fires, but it's turned into a wildfire. Okay, so with just that, I guess that it's questionable as to why anybody would care, or why would anybody even know that you had a child that passed? Why would anybody even know about that?
Well, because I said it. I had to tell them.
Why did you tell them?
Because I wanted to start a cute channel.
So you start a cute channel about
Yes.
about
Yes.
about
Right. Deuces.
Okay, so when I first saw you start your channel, the first night that you went on, which was supposed to be a cute channel, you talked about something really, really sensitive. As you talked about your brother-in-law unaliving himself while you were drinking.
Right.
Well, do you think that that makes a cute channel?
Don't ask me what cute is. I don't know why I put cute in there. I didn't mean it. I meant cooking.
Okay. Have you cooked a lot?
Yes.
What have you cooked?
Food.
By the well, the ribs. You see, I don't know. I'm not a big pork eater. I don't know. One of those things, right? So my husband cooks the ribs. When they're done, they're dry, fall off the bone. Yours appeared to be pink with reddish blood still coming out, and you had to force them off the bone. Was that the.
Right. It was right. And then the mac and cheese. Did you see the mac and cheese? The mac and cheese was done too.
Oh shit, we all saw mac and cheese. Yeah, it really didn't look good. I hope that if anybody saw that, they don't follow anything there. I would definitely recommend going to Best of Truth YouTube. She does the B.O.T.Y.T. And she knows what she's freaking doing. You can see that she's just in there, with the spices and everything, like spicing and whizzing and everything. And I mean, she knows how to cook. Okay, you can tell that's a woman who knows how to cook. I would definitely go there for cooking advice and not cook anything that Michelle cooks. It looks to me like ETN took very good care of her and cooked for her, and she did nothing but treat it like a big party and disrespect him and disrespect that house, as she continues to do, and be irresponsible, an irresponsible little fucking twat, if you will, and screw up not just one marriage, not just two marriages, but what? How many times have you been married? I'm trying to remember what we talked about. Is it 3 baby daddies for 4 kids? I'm not judging. I have 6 kids and probably 16 fathers. At least. I mean, the twins, they don't even have the same father. Not even the same. I had no idea what they were going to look like when they came out. Just saying. But anyway, so with that being said, I'm pretty sure I'm the mom of both. But who knows? I just don't understand how she could have gotten 2 of the nicest men. I mean, we've heard from 2 of them, 2 very nice men who deserved somebody who would have been a part of creating a beautiful life, and it would not have ended in divorce. Both of those men sounded like they were willing to give her a lot of leeway, more leeway than anybody could ever imagine. But to the point where their soul had been stomped on? How much more can you give one person? I don't know why people have given so much. And I'm not even just talking about the cash apps. Oh God, she's malfunctioning again. Let's get back to that content. So, anywho. Okay, Michelle. So now your next paragraph says,
Right.
Would you like to read this for me?
Yes.
Okay, please do.
I've now found out most of these creators are all on Suboxone. No offense to those that it's helped. And are fucking felons. Fuck. I got a DUI in 2018, and they are acting like I fucked their husbands or raped their kids and murdered their parents.
Oh, Michelle, who accused you of raping their children?
All of them, and that's why they're taking my channel down.
Oh, they're saying that you raped their kids?
Yep. Right? Deuces. Shit, somebody hit the button. Deuces. Right. Deuces.
Oh God, she's out of control. All right. So, somebody put a cigarette in it. All right. There we go. There we go. It's quiet again. So, um, Michelle, have you ever thought of getting sober and trying Suboxone?
No, that's for felons.
Oh, are you not a felon?
Nope, I've only had one DUI. I said I had one DUI. And you act like I murmured parents and raped kids. Right? Right? Doses.
Put the cigarette back in there. Okay, somebody's got the cigarette back in there. All right. All right. Okay. So, um, what would make you think that Tabitha Jane is a felon?
Well, she's obviously a felon if she's on the YouTube.
So, hmm. Oh, okay. I'm beginning to see how things don't add up. Okay. All right. All right. So now, we'll go back to the next paragraph. It says here,
This shit is so crazy. They slow down my live streams to where it makes it look like I'm completely wasted constantly because they caught me on a live stream drunk a few times venting. Deuces. They have doxed my physical address, my job. They got me fired because apparently I'm the internet bully. Mass strike, over 100 people calling me job.
Jesus, Michelle. You mean 100 people called you Job? Do you mean like Job in the Bible? What you say right here that over 100 people calling me Job or Job? Which is it, Michelle?
Deuces.
Shut your mouth. Put the cigarette back. All right. So, Michelle.
Deuces.
Oh shit. Michelle.
Deuces.
Michelle, focus here. You said you got fired from your job.
Yes, I did. I'm an insurance adjuster. I bend over and the ropes come out of my butt and they go all the way up over the roof. And then I just swing into it and I'm up on the roof. And then I can do this. I'm an insurance adjuster certified.
So, okay. So let me see if I got this right, Michelle. You go to these storms, you bend over, the rope comes out of your butt and it goes over on a roof, and then you suck yourself up to it because you were a stunt double and you're a roundhouse kick girl. So I imagine you're just like spinning up there like a freaking spider, right?
Don't talk to me about Charlotte on the web.
Oh, sorry. Don't mean to bring up things.
Right. Deuces.
Okay, so Michelle, you're trying to tell me that you got fired from a job.
That's right. They called me Job.
Who called you Job?
They called me Job.
Who's Job?
Job. They called my job.
Okay, Michelle, you got fired from a job?
Yes, I did.
Who were you working for?
Don't ask me if I was working for anybody. I said I had a job.
But you said people were calling me Job.
I said I had a job.
But who had the job? Where were you working? Who called? When? How did you have this stream? So you're saying what? That you were not even drunk?
Nope. 3 times at max. 3 times. And the people slowed down the stream to make it look like I was wasted. I was not wasted. Okay, I maybe had 1 or 2 Tito's. That's it. Molly has Tito's all the time, and I was just trying to be just like Molly, trying to figure out how to be a creator and make a cute YouTube channel.
Oh, wow, Michelle, this is just really terrible. So then 100 people called you job. Job! Job!
Job.
Job! Job! Shit, I'm going to leave this one right here. All right, let's put that cigarette bag right. Okay, there we go. All right. Doses. Oh, shit. Put the cigarette in tighter. All right. So, we're going to go to the next part of this once again. And just to reiterate, folks, audience, Tabitha Jane from T.W.A.T. Radio here. We are reporting that she states that the felon creators on Suboxone are able to slow down streams to make it appear that Michelle was wasted. But she, in fact, was not wasted, folks. And she does state that 100 people called her. Says over 100 people calling me job. We're really not sure exactly what that means. Okay, we're going to move forward. So now the next statement in this plea states that, and this is Michelle's words, of course, I've had the cops show up at my house 5 times for wellness checks when I was just sitting on the sofa watching TV. I finally had to go sit down with the sheriff and tell him what was going on, so when 911 gets 50 calls back to back in my small town, not to respond. Michelle? So you're just saying that you were sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing, and these felon creators that slow down streams to make it look like you're drunk then call the sheriff and say that you're drunk because they slow down the speed because they're felons doing Suboxone, or selling it, whatever. And then they call the sheriff for a wellness check, and the sheriff comes to your house and you're doing nothing other than watching TV.
That's right. That's right.
Well, then how could you be bullied if you're just sitting on the couch watching TV?
It doesn't matter. I'm bullied, and I'm putting a class action up against YouTube. A class action. I'm suing them all. I'm going to sue them all.
You do realize that they'll want to have your employer testify that there were 100 people calling you job,
right? Ow.
shit, put the cigarette back. Okay, here we go. On to the next portion of this. Okay. All right. Now, here we go with the most critical part. And, this is really our bombshell tonight, folks. Here we go. The sentence starts with they. So we don't really know who they are, Not supposed to start a paragraph with they, but Michelle never follows a fucking rule. What's she gonna do? Follow grammar now? I mean, come on. Are the grammar police gonna get her too? I mean, honestly, they're gonna be bullying her. So anyway, it starts as they. It says they have called animal control. Hold on. They have called animal control and the Humane Society thousands of times, saying I punch and kick Lola and Jake even though we fostered and adopted out how many dogs for them?
That's right. I only punch and kick Jake. And the callers are saying that I punch and kick Lola and Jake. I only punch Jake. Look at the videos.
Okay, let's do that. Let's get in here. Let's see. Okay. All right, fair enough. You just punch Jake. You're right. You're making love to Lola while you punch Jake. All right, gotcha. All right.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. So is going back to how we started. Shirley was trying to interview you, trying to get a comment from Valley Girl. We like to be fair in these interviews, and reach out to everybody at least once. And if they don't get back to us, but we just would really like a comment from Valley Girl right now as to if she is the one indeed who taught you to do this, to punch your dog. Let's see here, because you're saying that these felons on the internet selling Suboxone, slowing down streams to make it look like you're doing things. God, that they're great editors. Look at it. I mean, because you're just sitting there on the TV, on the sofa watching TV, right? And I mean, it totally makes it look like you're punching Jake.
Yeah, but it's not Lola.
It's Jake. You're right. It's Jake. See, right there. Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying that this is a creation of those felons on Suboxone.
That's right.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see here. I'm just gonna see. Huh. Your eyes, they're very reptilian.
So what if my eyes look like a lizard?
You're right. I'm not judging. Not judging. Okay. So now, the next part of this says,
When that didn't work, they started calling the sheriff's office on animal control and the Humane Society.
okay. So what do you mean?
I mean that when that didn't work, they started calling the sheriff's office on animal control and the Humane Society.
Huh. I have to think on that one. Figure out what the hell you're trying to say. Because I don't know. But then again, I'm still bewildered by the fact that Tim can form sentences and does not sound like Sling Blade. Okay? I mean, honestly, the way you described him, Michelle, I thought that, somebody'd go and find him in a forest and they'd find that he had a lamp filled with literal lamps of ladyfingers and skin. And, yeah, I don't know if he has a lamp of ladyfingers and skin with the way that you described him, but the man sounds normal. And to the point where he said he would still help you after what you've done to what the how did you find? Like I said, how did you find at least two men with the hearts of gold that you frickin' ripped out, melted, and pawned? God, what the hell is wrong with you, woman? Okay, here we are again with that frickin' Dracula hairline. Come back. Hold on. Let's see here. See, I mean, if that's not an evil hairline, how many people have seen a person who's not extremely evil having a hairline like that? I mean, that's what, Frankenstein and everything is based out of. I mean, I don't, oh, I, I don't know. I don't know how you managed to do this or why you managed to do this, people, but knock it off. Knock it the fuck off, Michelle. All right. Okay. All right. So we're just going to wrap this up and we're going to read the rest of your manifesto here. Is that all right?
Right. Doses, right.
Get the cigarette put back in the hole. All right, cigarette's back in the hole. All right. It says, I don't know how to make this end. This is literally a massive news story I got on YouTube on a crime case I was interested in. I was trying to solve it. Michelle, you were trying to solve what? You were trying to solve what? It was no massive crime case. There had been a long history of a couple that started out beautiful, similar to you, because Vaughn was a decorated Marine, suffered from PTSD. Well, maybe you saw that there. Maybe you started confusing the shit. Because when Vaughn and Dre started, they were the stuff that fairy tales are made out of. She had her kids from 2 little girls from her previous marriage, and she's very, very involved with them. And her and Vaughn then went on to have a son of their own. And some things went down, and I've talked about the whole backstory with that. But for a long time, he was very unhappy. And for a long time, he had threatened to unalive himself. He wasn't even living at home when this happened. She wouldn't let him have any of his money. There may be reasoning. There was a lot going on. A lot of backstory there, if you will. But there was nothing to solve. It wasn't a whodunit. It wasn't a matter of the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker going in. No, it was not a whodunit. And for you to compare and insert yourself inappropriately, rudely, to put details of how a baby's eyes look when they've died of SIDS, to be compared with that of an adult man who had just been cut down from a rope. I don't know that anybody thought that. Why would Dre have done that? Doesn't make any sense. Now, some of the other things she does is weird as shit to him. And some of the other things that she's done are really questionable. And if you or somebody you love has had a seizure, go to the hospital. Do not sit there and watch somebody have seizure after seizure after seizure, and then put some cayenne pepper on your finger and shove said finger in the person's mouth who's having a seizure. Don't do it. Even though you saw it on YouTube, don't do it. Get that person to the frickin' hospital. Seizures cause brain damage. And each seizure that Vaughn had may have been taking a little bit away from who he was each time. But she had become his doctor, if you will, and made that abundantly clear that she was his doctor and the VA was no longer his doctor. All of that, those are the things that would be appropriate to insert in a conversation, because those things can be discovered by going deep, which is what you do when you're a creator and you create a channel. I don't know if it's cute or not, but it's what your passion is. My passion is in psychology and the breakdown of who and why and what people do what for. Why they did it. Did it happen that way? That's what I like to create. The whole story. I don't believe in black and white headlines. I believe in the gray in the middle. And if you go further, is it a coincidence that it's called gray matter, which your brain is made out of? And then you can say gray matters because that means using your brain instead of reading a black and white headline? Because the tragedy pimps, they do the black and white headlines. They don't go in the backstory. They do the black and white headlines, and then they put their little donation cup up. In the donation, let's get on that for a second. Let me just put it all down here. Hold on. Let me get my soapbox. Hold, please. I'm back. I hear something. Sorry for the pause. Just a second. Long pause while I grab my soapbox. I cannot figure out what's going on in here. So anyway, all right. So if you're a creator, you put money into your channel. You put your time into your channel. You put your passion into your channel. You put research into your channel to create. You put thought into what you do. And then, because it's difficult to justify why you're putting so much time into something that there's really not a good return on. Okay? Like what I've said, I'm about $4,000 upside down in starting my channel and going into it into almost a complete year now. And they set up a system then, YouTube did, where you can accept cash apps, and when you get monetized, you can get super stickers, blah, blah, blah. So that is across the board for all creators, so that when somebody says, hey, I felt like I was, sitting down at a meal with you. Let me pay for this meal. Let me give you the equivalent of what the meal was. Let me send you a super chat. I just felt like I had coffee with you. Let me buy your coffee. And they do a little super chat, or they put $5 on your Cash App, or whatever, right?
Right?
That's what it's for. It's for after you see that somebody has invested and done the work for you, done the legwork. So you didn't have to go deep and you didn't have to wonder about this. It was there for you. You thank them. You give them something in return. That's what Cash App is for. That's what it was. And I had said erroneously on my thing that I had never gotten a Cash App. Well, my dumbass didn't know because I was not out there pimping for it. So somebody asked me for my Cash App because they, would have liked to. And I didn't know. And I put it up there. I set up one and I put it on my channel. I didn't know until the other night when I was trying to put it all together, Michelle. And you know what? I had 125 in Cash App expired because I didn't know that somebody had given so many people had been giving me super chats. Not super chats, Cash Apps. I didn't know. I had no idea. And so they all expired and went back, which is fine because, obviously I didn't need it. I've got to this point without needing it. But that's what it's there for. It's supposed to be across the board so that maybe across the board everybody gets $2. It is not for your dumb ass to sit there and whine and cry and lie about needing this and that and saying that you don't have insurance and blah, 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 blah. And you don't know how you're going to pay for the hospital and you can't even be in there, your toes going to fall off and you don't even know how you would pay for the hospital and you don't have a choice. You can't lay down and relax and let the antibiotic in your IV work because you have to be on the stream to get money so that you can pay off these hospital bills when damn you has the best insurance that anybody in the United States can have because you have freaking Medicare. That covers things that people who work very hard can't get. And you're backed up by still leeching off of your ex-husband, which you didn't agree to the divorce because you still wanted to take more of his money. You'd already taken his soul. I think you have his nuts in a jar somewhere. No, you need to go back, give everybody back their nuts, and get yourself in order. Like I say, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted with all of this. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Thank you. And thank you to the people who are giving Cash Apps. And I'm sorry I'm an asshole and I didn't even know that you did. and they expired. I assume that goes back to your account, so you've seen that. Thank you, thank you. And I have now gotten a couple of super chats too because I'm monetized now, so thank you. I'm filling out the paperwork, and when you hit $100 in creator fees and that, then it all goes and you can get there. And I'm not there. I think I'm at $73 now. So that's what it's really like, Michelle. It's really that way that you can work for almost a year, do 200 and how many videos, each of those how many hours worth, each of those taking how much in research to do, each of those just a lot of time. A lot of time and effort is put in before you even begin to break even. But you come in and you just sit there and lie and lie and lie and make an asshole out of yourself, and you are drunk every single time. People don't have the power to slow things down and do that. You're drunk as shit. No one's doing anything. And we're not felons, and we certainly as fuck wouldn't sell our Suboxone. You might want to try and get on Suboxone if you ever get yourself sober. It'd be wonderful for you. You might really like it. You might become a whole different person. And a year from now, or maybe even a year and a half, maybe 18 months in rehab would be great for you. Come out with the insert of the Suboxone, or I can't remember what it's called when it's in the insert. I will have to say that straight. I think it's a Subutex transdermally. You'd be a good candidate to have it transdermally so that you don't forget, do whatever weird things you do with things. And then you could be really amazing, and you come back and be beautiful and healthy, and be sitting there with your kids and talk to everybody here about how hard you worked, and if you can do it, anybody can, because really, really, you've really been an asshole. I don't think that there's many people out there who've been as big as an asshole as you. I'm sure there are some. So back to your manifesto. All right. It says, um, we're trying to solve the case. All right. And then I went on a tangent. Okay. So then here you go. What happened, unbeknownst to me, is I was busting holes in a huge YouTube channel scamming people. I had no idea. I logged into YouTube normally. I didn't think about my first and last name showing, even though it. Michelle, what's your first language?
I don't have a first language.
What's your second language?
Fuck you.
Profanity. Okay, I gotcha. I'm totally relate. All right. So can we put English as your first language?
Right? Right.
Okay. So when it says right there when you sign up, protect your anonymity, guard your identity, username, it does not say legal name. The fuck didn't you get? You want us to think you were having a job? You want us to think you were sitting there at a job where people were calling you job? Hundreds of people. But no! Uh-huh. You had no idea. No idea. And it says you didn't think about your first and last name showing. You want to know what something, bitch? You want to know what something? Jane isn't my last name. Tabitha isn't my first name. How could I have figured it out? Because I read the directions. And I'm not even special and can't bend over and have ropes come out my ass going up on a roof, and all the while doing roundhouse kicks and being a stunt double. And what were you a stunt double in? Nobody seems to know about that knows you in real life. What did you do? Anyway, You say, why?
Why would I? Why would I?
Yeah, I don't know why you would, because it freaking says it. And then it says, since then, YouTube has taken down the creators, 80,000 subscribers, channel for harassment and bullying. But what about my life? Why can't they remove BS videos, lies she made about me to destroy her? What? I was a sacrificial lamb. She is losing 13,000 a month. Who cares? I lost pretty much everything. My job, my reputation, and pretty soon my livelihood. Okay, number 1. Bitch, you had no job. Your reputation is as fucked as it can get. Okay? What job can you get out there that they don't do a background check on? Huh? I kind of doubt you've only had one DUI. I doubt that you have a stellar reputation in just one DUI. But that's what you say, so we've got to go with it, right? Because everything you say is true.
Right? Right?
And you would never hit Jake or Lola. That's what it was, right? You'd only hit Jake. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Right. Right.
Okay, and how do you know and who? I mean, this doesn't even make sense what you're talking about. So then you write, I pissed off the scanner creator. What the fuck is a scanner creator? Scanner creator. Scanner creator. Now they have taken both her channels down. But what about me? What about my life, my reputation? I purposely moved to a house on the hill because I can't deal with people. I started my own YouTube channel and had 6,000 subs in 3 months. Them onwards with the witch hunt. You can't seem to write past the level of a 3rd grader. This is with help. This is with you typing, and you still have these grammatical I don't even know. I don't You didn't earn 6K subs. You got a bunch of hate watchers who are watching a train wreck. You owe a huge apology to so many people, and an actual genuine apology. That's amazing that you got 6K subs in 3 months, but would you have ever gotten monetized? Would you have ever followed the rules enough to have gotten monetized? What difference does it make how many you have if you can't get monetized? Okay? It only takes 1,000, and good behavior. I know how yours.
ETN, so be very, very, very mad at Dollar Girl's behavior. Behavior.
You're always so interested in everybody else's behavior. Well, what about your own? So with good behavior and 1,000 subs, you could have made money honestly and earned it instead of scamming, bullying, and extorting it. So there's none for the rest of us who have been waiting patiently and doing our work and following the rules, because you took it all. You took it all. And then you say, I hit the bottle like a mofo for 6 months. Duh. This shit literally started to happen the day we settled our divorce. Settled in these italics that you like to put oh god, not italics. You can see I'm really pissed off. Parentheses, the air quotes, settled. Yeah, you weren't going to let the poor man go. You killed his dog. You took all of his money. You tore out his soul. You have his balls in a jar somewhere. What the hell else do you want? Do you want him just to just pay you and for the rest of his life and give you that house? You moved to a house on the hill because you can't deal with people. But then you in that house on the hill, reached out here and started harassing everybody. When people tell you to go away, you make a new channel and go and harass other people and go and have them believe that everybody else is attacking you and you're a victim. And then they help you and they do dirty deeds for you. And then they find out that you're the problem and they find out that they hurt an innocent person. And you're like, oopsie, oopsie, oopsie.
Right.
Oopsie, oopsie. Exactly. Put your cigarette back in and shut up. All right. So you're saying that you hit the bottle like a mofo for 6 months. Okay. And this is April 10th. So you're saying you only hit the bottle for, okay. So if you were hitting the bottle for 6 months straight, don't you think that if you were doing lives every day, several times a day, that the YouTubers might have caught you more than 3 times?
It doesn't matter. I had to hit the bottle like a mofo because of them.
But back in the summer, when it was the summer, and you were trying to command those poor police officers to come into your house and step to your camera, you were decorating the house with all of the beer bottles. Well, how can you sit on the couch and tell other people that they're assholes and do all this when you have a pile of dirty dishes all around you? Garbage all over. Lola and Jake are eating your nasty bandages. You bats, rats. God knows what else. The house is going to be condemned because of you. It's going to have to be massively fumigated. The thing is going to need a circus tent on the top. Red and white circus tent. They're going to have to fumigate it. If they even determine that between the water damage and all of the infestations and all of the pissing you've done all over it, your free pissing and whatever else you've done in there, I don't know. Could need to be condemned.
Oopsie. If I can't have it, nobody can. Oopsie.
Because of the way that your mind works, I fear that you might have that plan. I fear it. And that's why you just tried to set ETN up. You just tried to set ETN up so that you'd have a way of legally changing that gate code, which you know damn well you can't. Because you don't want law enforcement to have that gate code. Because you don't want them to be able to come and serve you eviction paperwork. You think you're going to be able to get that house and nobody can come and get you because you're Michelle. And Michelle always wins, right?
Right.
Or, dare I say, I don't know, does she have a little habit of burning things? We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see.
Oopsie.
And so then,
I've been completely sober a week. Nothing. Nada. I mean, all I did is drink in 420 and 420 3.5 weeks.
okay, so you're saying, Michelle, you never took a pill? You're saying that you smoked a little Mary Jane and you drank, but you've been completely sober for a week. Completely sober means no substances. Completely sober means no unprescribed drugs and current prescriptions. Don't say that, because you got this prescribed for the trauma of you caused the divorce. Nobody did anything to you. You caused this. You're trying to tell me that you were able to quit cold turkey from alcohol and drugs 1 entire week, and you're just totally fine. Well, gee, didn't happen, did it? Didn't happen when you were throwing up that 14-day coin that, I'm the one who said it was not a 14-day coin because those don't exist. Well, I found out they don't exist. So that's a 24-hour coin. So there's promising one time at least, or you found a coin from somebody who was around you that had made it to 24 hours. And you are not special. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. That, like I said, I'm sure you were listening to the panel. But like I say, AA is that so that if you are the most famous person in the world, or if you are the homeless man on the street, you can both go to AA and you can both admit powerlessness over substances and how they affect you, and you can surrender to the power of them. Sorry, my language in it is not correct. It's been forever. A foster mother dragged me to them when I was a teenager, so I don't remember other than being mindful of everybody was equal there. And when they earned a chip, it was a really big thing that they earned, and they were really proud. I remember a lot of tears being shed and whatnot. Nothing like what you're saying. Nothing that, oh, they have to order special coins because they're really special from special people, but you don't have the same sponsor and you don't have a sponsor. And then when we just found the little clip of you saying that AA is a cult, that you don't even believe in AA. So what is it? Mm. Oh. So then it says, I've gotten death threats since October, and my simpleton sheriff said, stay off the internet. What the fuck? Okay. Who threatened your life? All I've heard is people tell you to get straight, get sober so that you can save your own life. At this point, it's up to you. So many people have tried. They've stopped their lives to try and help you, offered you things that I can't believe are offered. I have never heard anybody get as much kindness extended to one person as they have you. Your ungrateful ass laughs at it because you wanted Ski. Ski didn't even want you, even though you're apparently his type. So if the sheriff told you to stay off the internet, which he did on camera, back when it was still sunny, so last summer, how did it work when then you went down and sat down with him, as you state here, and told him that he couldn't come to your house anymore? One of those things isn't true, or both of them isn't true. And then you say,
Guys, I'm not on acid. I'm not delusional. I don't know what to do. I've been silent for 6 months. They say their end game is for me to be homeless, living in a cardboard box, and for me to take my life.
Michelle, no one has said that to you. And in a previous thing, I have told you all about my favorite book as a kid, Katrina in the Box. Go, it's best. I mean, honestly, hubby was taking out a piece of cardboard today, and I had to sit there and fight with him back and forth like Katrina in the Box. I'm like, this is a good box, motherfucker. Give it back to me. No. It's real horrible because I still really like that book. I still believe that a lot of things can be done with cardboard. Well, I wouldn't think that that's a bad thing if somebody says it. And then you say, Michelle, I've made multiple reports to YouTube daily. You have to tweet them. WTF? That's why I've been in a depression. Someone has to know someone that knows someone to help me. I'm legit probably one of the worst cyberbullying cases you guys have ever heard of. I'm definitely an ID Lifetime movie network, and it won't end. They say it won't end until I K myself. All right, folks, so that's Tabitha Jane from TWAT Radio. That I just read that off to you. And yes, you're not imagining it. I did read it to you a couple of weeks ago. It's just that our character, Michelle, who now appears to be passed out, adds in little paragraphs here and then to make this story more salacious, to get more attention, to get her real life friends to really start paying attention. And as we saw, when she's bringing her real life friends into it, it's not working out well. But Michelle always wins, right? Right. Right. Oh, shit, she's waking up. On that note, I will say once again, thank you for listening. I will be back to putting out content next week. I hope that this has provided you viewers with the unfortunate truth that, yes, indeed, she does punch her dog. That it is not us YouTube creators making this up. And I will say once again, if you have not listened to some of the Tim stuff, go and find it like I did. And you'll be probably as dumbfounded as I am, because all I could imagine was that some man had really hurt her. It doesn't appear to be so. When she said that, she had these really fucked up men, and the man, the one husband was in jail for a month, and you could only imagine what he must have done to Michelle to be put in jail for a month. Because she wants everybody who doesn't do what she says, which is, if you do it with what she says, is giving her money. And I really, really hope that nobody gives her money. She's been given enough money to have had a nice new start. Maybe she has this money in some nest egg, and she's going to go get a brand new condo somewhere and be laughing at all of us for giving it all to her. But most likely it went to where she goes and picks up her stuff underneath the traffic cone. So, please, for the people who don't believe that she would punch Jake, please like, share, show this video. You have my permission to clip it. I had updated this one on Penelope's, and Penelope gave me permission. So if anybody else needs to show somebody else that, yes, she does indeed punch animals, that she should never be alone with animals. This is ridiculous. I know that people think that, oh, the dogs are the only thing that keeps her going and everything. She needs to not be responsible for anything. Maybe Valley Girl can take these dogs that she's trained, that she's put all of her, build it out to be 10,000, 5,000. I don't know. But maybe Valley Girl can unfuck this. Because these poor dogs deserve a hell of a lot better. And Lola, who was once named Marge, can maybe go back to who she was as Marge. And these dogs deserve better. Her kids deserve better. Her ex-husbands deserve better. And Michelle, once you get sober and you take responsibility for your actions, and you take responsibility and accountability for why you lost custody of your children, and you work through your trauma and whatnot so you don't inflict pain upon anybody else, then yes, at that point, and only after that point, then yes, you would deserve better. But right now, you're right where you need to be. And on that note, we will, this note, let's do this one. Let's see, which note should we do it on? There we go. That one? Nope. We'll do, which thumbnail should we do? There. How about that? What a loving dog owner. What liars we are. Selling our Suboxone and lying about Michelle. Anyway, thank you all for listening. And if you didn't get a chance, please listen to last night's live stream where we had Possum Wrangler give us her beautiful, introspective, and responsible story about how she was able to overcome her addiction and be an amazing example to so many. And the reason why she started down that road was because she was hit by a drunk driver. She had noticed that the car in front of her had an infant in it. I don't know if there was an infant, if it said, infant on board or what. I forgot to ask. But she saw the drunk driver. Well, she didn't know the driver was drunk. She saw this car barreling at her at such a high rate of speed that she knew that there was no way she was not going to be hit or killed. And so she put her foot on the brake and did not let off that brake because she wanted to absorb that entire force of that hit so that the baby in front of her would be spared. She gave her youth, the inside of you that doesn't hurt, that part that is yet untouched by pain. She gave all of that in that moment so that a baby would be saved. Because the person behind her was a drunk driver. And the week prior had told his family that he was going to unalive himself. And then they were going to 5150 him. And they didn't. And they let him go. And it affected her in so many ways that she lost everything due to the pain, trying to manage that pain. And after it took all that it could, and it took everything, her character, her home, everything, she took the steps to get sober, and Suboxone saved her life. It's a very moving story. Please listen to it. Please watch the live chat. There were several people in there who were so supportive. So many of them are on Suboxone as well. If you have questions about Suboxone, please feel free to ask me or anybody in that chat. Be respectful, please. As we all have had to go down our personal journeys to have to, be to that point. But Suboxone does save lives. My Suboxone story is recorded. If you get bored, you can listen to that as well. The other component of the story is that Michelle continues to drive drunk and high. And that is why I have fought, and other creators have fought so hard, because we fear somebody being just like Possum, or somebody who's not as conscientious as Possum and doesn't hold the brake and lets the car ahead, a baby, take the hit. Because that's what happens when people drive drunk and high, like her, and she does it on film, and the cops aren't doing anything about it. Somebody has to do something. And it's time. YouTube is doing something. She has had all of her channels taken down. YouTube has went as far as to block her ISP address. She is now, obviously, having somebody else set up the accounts for her. That's how this is happening, but your reports are not being unheard. So keep doing what you need to do, and please consider being a part of one of the healing panels that we're going to continue to do on my channel. If you'd like to be a guest, or if you have insight for me to speak on behalf of you, please reach out at tabithajane0@gmail.com. As you've heard me say, it can take me up to a week or so or more to get back to all my emails because I've got a lot coming in, but I take notes on everything, and I know who you are when I see you in chat. I hear you. Even if you think nobody else does, I do. I hear you. And I will be putting up new content next week around this time. I hope you all have a great week. Thank you for listening.